Good morning here on my little cozy home on the asteroid. We have had a wonderful evening, got to watch our fish, and have the beautiful view of the planet from our little cozy home. However, we can't stay in our cozy home forever. I mean, technically, it's against the rules because I said no static grids. But man, I needed the palette cleanser in the last episode. And, I mean, realistically, yeah, this is okay. We've got the giant platform over there that's dealing all of our production needs. So, this is just emergency backup respawn position in case. But let's head on out through the airlock and go take a look at what we're going to do today. As today, we are going to do some deadly drones after our cozy home from last episode. We're back getting ready for some more combat. I've had my R&R, I've had my break, and now it is time to cause some damage. I'm moving this on top of here so it's in range of the building repairs, but the clang is not helping. It is frightening, and I don't know why it's clanging, but it is. So I gotta go figure out why that's happening. But the idea for today is that this thing took a bit of a beating. So in the last fight, we had several of our guns get shot off. So we lost our front Gatling, we lost side railgun. We almost lost this railgun because this Gatling decided to shoot at its barrels. This Gatling was shooting forward while this guy was shooting upward, and it raised its barrels high enough that it was causing an issue. So I might have to think about that. Might have to put you in a new location. Maybe swap? I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I'm going to have to do something. And I also lost this guy over here, which I replaced with a regular old Gatling gun, which we can get rid of now because we don't need him anymore. We will put a rotor turret back there. But I was thinking a good way to increase this thing's firepower, which this thing doesn't need more offense. I think it has insane amounts of offense with a bunch of railguns and a bunch of Gatlings and all sorts of wonderful things. I think this needs more distractions. So we are going to build some little drones, and I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to mount them on this thing. Maybe underneath? Maybe right here on the nose. I can grind away some of these half blocks and replace them with fulls in order to get myself a mounting spot. But we're gonna get a couple little drones that when we get close to the enemy, we can release them and they will fly on in and circle at a great distance and pound the enemy with something. Artillery, well, that's only for large grid, but assault cannon, maybe. Railgun, maybe. Just, they'll get in there and be a right old nuisance. Because, so far, all of our fights that we've done have been like 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3, that kind of stuff. I want to even those odds. I want to go and bring it in and make it 3v3, 3v2. I want the advantage. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to do a little bit more repairs on the destroyer here, and then design and fabricate a couple little defensive, offensive, some kind of drone that we can use. Potentially even just drop off this turret here on the side, because that would actually make a pretty good little mounting point on the side of the ship there. But anyway, first things first. Let's just do a little bit of quick repair to the dropship to get all of its guns back in working order and ready to fight again. I'm just putting these railguns back on these turrets here. And they're not being built up because of goddamn superconductors. I need gold. I need gold so bad. Oh, I'm going to have to raid more superconductors off of my stuff here. Nothing in that one. 400 superconductors here. Okay. You know, I'm just not capable of building all of these other goddamn jump drives right now. I need to grind them down so I have the superconductors to use for railguns. I need to. It pains me to do it, but I have to, because otherwise I can't have my railguns. See, now I have railguns. There we go. Ah, the things I have to do. But I was thinking, why don't I swap these two? I'll have Gatling here, which obviously has like the minus 135 and then 135 this way, so it can't shoot the ship. And then I'll put the other Gatling here with the same sort of thing. And then I'll move the railgun up to the top so the railgun can shoot back. I think that's probably the best option. So this is going to be the top railgun and the top GAT that we are going to change up. So we're going to need our tug in order to get this working. Go, go, tug power. What we're going to do is we're going to come on over here and we're going to grab this whole contraption. And then we're going to come down to the rotor and we're going to go detach. Drag the whole thing up and over. And we will put it right there. We'll just wait for a second. Wait for everything to stop. Place it right there in the world. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to grab this. I believe this is currently the right way around. Right? Yeah, that's just bent over. This advanced rotor is sitting at 12 degrees. Okay, good. And we're going to grab it and disconnect it from down here. Detach. And let's go take it over. Slide it right on into their DMs. And maneuver, maneuver, maneuver. It's harder when their center of gravity is now like with the thing I'm grabbing. So it wiggles a bit when I'm trying to put it in. But all I have to do here is attach. And it jiggles. And detach there. Okay. Step 1 done. This is still top GAT, that hinge. This, however, is top railgun. We are going to have to rename these real quick while we have access to them. Top GAT. This is going to be top rail gun new. Just so I can tell them apart. Then we'll go into a... I need a control panel here so I can figure this all out. Whoop, into a control panel. So. Railgun. Right? We have the top railgun. Top railgun new. This is now going to be top GAT. And this is going to be top railgun. Very good. The rotor for top railgun is going to be top railgun. And the custom turret for top GAT is going to be rotor top GAT. And it should already have some upper and lower limits. We'll double check those in a minute here. But that... is that it? Is that all I need to do to this? Top gat, top gat, top gat. Those didn't change because the guns themselves didn't change. I just need to fix the rotors. Okay, now railgun top. This guy should be top railgun, and then he needs his bits back. But I wonder if those will nicely populate when I put the gun back in position. So let's go plug it in. Place it there. So that way I won't have my ship jiggle so much when I give this thing the attach order. Attach. Ooh, it snapped into position. Top railgun. Top railgun rotor. Top railgun hinge. Top railgun the actual guns. There's the camera, the custom turret. Has everything back in place. Alright, it looks like it worked. Just gotta go and jump into the seat so I can double check that those things are functioning correctly. Alright, custom turret, top railgun. We have 360 coverage. We can aim up, we can aim down, we can turn around, we can fire. Excellent. And now for the top gat. Custom turret. Control U. Alright. So we can aim forward. We can aim to the right to there. Which is enough. We're not going to hit our ship. And we will not be able to hit that one. Maybe if that was pointing directly fully to the right, we might be able to hit it. So why don't we pull it back to, like, here sort of angle. Let's go see what that angle is. So top gat, we're going to go to the advanced rotor. And we're currently at 150 instead of 160. So that's fine. No, not 150. Minus 15. Now, 150. That should be just perfect. Boom, boom, boom. No chance that we'll be able to shoot our own ship. And now, yeah, we should be good. Can't go any further this way. That gat is good to go. Now I just got to rebuild the armor on the turrets on the side and rewire them up and rebuild the central turret, which should be another minute or two. Bring it down, can aim it right, doesn't hit the ship. Aim it left, doesn't hit the ship. We are wonderful. Woo! Absolutely beautiful. We've got the Gatling ray belt. Okay, we've got the two side railgun turrets, rebuilt the specifications, and we're just going to do the same thing on the bottom, where we're going to transfer this railgun to the pylon and put the Gatling down lower, so the Gatling doesn't shoot its own ship. Beautiful. Functional. I believe the destroyer is completely rebuilt, and we can start on our objective for the day, which is building out an annoying-ass little drone. Which I think the best spot for them is probably going to be right here. The interior turret is just going to get rebuilt because it was in the projection. Oh my god. The projection's still on. Projector. Off. Cut you away. Now, what I think I might do is if I take away this heavy armor block here, and I get way too much inventory, but that's okay. Build and repairs will pick up those steel plates for me, and I can go put away the rest of it there. Basically, what I'm thinking of is that I should be able to... do I want to have a connector for these? Or do I just want them, like, landing geared to me? Like, I could do a mag plate. Now, I need some way to activate them, don't I mean, I actually have an interesting idea of what I could do. I could put a rotor there. And I could change out the head for like a medium head? I could do that. And then I detach them from the rotor, and that's how I launch them. That's one way. But I think an easier way is just going to be a connector. Like, we'll do... Oh, we can even do a small inset connector. Right, we can do that now. I don't think I need to have this transfer materials. Like, I could put them on the bottom and have them transfer materials, because I believe, if my camera would actually cooperate, I could, because I do have a floor in here, I could run conveyorage to here and have them be conveyed. I don't know if I need to. I mean, I could even have them conveyed here. I just run the conveyorage inside the hull a little bit. I mean, it's kind of like, why not? I could just hook them up, and then I can feed them with fuel and such right up to the point where they launch. And then they'll head off and go and do their little thing in space. Because I think these guys are going to be ion-based. But let me dig out this tunnel here with my build and repairs, and we'll get these things hooked up to conveyor access. Which, ooh, that one's close. That's right there. That's just a couple blocks away. That'll do. That'll do. Alright, my cockpit is a bit dug up, but we can now go in here and run some reinforced tubes all the way along. Leave just enough room for me to sneak down here. Put some reinforced tubes this way, and then a reinforced T-junction that away. Ooh, we are going to be able to see the T-junction a little... Wait, no, I can flip it this way. We won't see it. And then another reinforced... Nope, this won't be reinforced. This will be our small inset connector. Hey, there we go. We've got 2 spots for little drones to attach now, right on our noses. Oh, that is awesome. And I mean, also, theoretically, if we wanted to, we could feed a direct fire weapon in the front. We could put artillery or maybe like a row of rocket launchers out the front of the ship, because we would have access to conveyors right there, wouldn't we? I can make these all T's and rotate them so they're all facing this way, and have all that access to be able to have front-mounted weaponry, and I could just launch missiles out of the front of my ship. Ooh, maybe an upgrade for the future. But now that we have a place for them to sit, let's design our little drones, which are going to be relatively small. We don't want these to be too large. They are just going to be badass enough to kick butt, but not that concerned if I lose them. And I'm thinking, obviously, they're going to be space-based only. So they're going to be ion-based. How big? 1 battery? No. 2 batteries? 1. I think if we have 1 battery fully charged, it should be more than enough for a combat vessel. You know what I mean? And it's going to be ion-based. We can get like one chunky ion in the back, right? And then we'll just need clusters of them left and right, up and down and such. Our small connector will go, because we're also going to need a small cargo. Ooh, small cargo? Potentially. I want to see how much small cargo holds. I want to go get the various ammo types and also make sure, like, try to grab them from here. So, railgun comes through that small hole. That's very good. Gatling will also go through that hole. And so I can put those weapons on these drones and they will be fed by the destroyer here. We have 7 Gatling, 15 railgun sabos. That's all that we can hold in a single small container. So we could do, say, small, small, and a conveyor there with our inset connector that away. That's one potential way to do it. Or we could use this line here and just run the small containers back like this to give us all our space without needing these ones here. Now, let's see. Where would a railgun want to fit in on this thing? Because railguns are nice and long, right? I feel like if I have a railgun on this, I kind of want to, like, set it back so the total drone isn't really, really long. But also, it'd be also kind of nice to have a really long drone that is capable of just destroying things with the railgun. Because if I did that, railgun down the center of it. How long is that comparatively to here? I can go grab the tug and bring it over so I can actually see what I'm dealing with. So if this was docking up, it would obviously be docking up, like it would be rotating this way. It would be docking up like that, because that's where the small connector is. Unless I change that and put it on its side, but whatever it would be. We could also have it just docking up like this, which actually isn't that bad for total size. We can make that work for sure. Now, this thing is going to... Oh, how do I want to do this, though? It's going to be... It's currently 3x3 in terms of total size. But I do want to armor it a bit, so it's probably going to be more like... God, 5x5. No, that's be too big. I'll probably just slab it on the top and the bottom and full block it off the sides. Because we can't get anything here because this needs to be where it can connect. So it might be that that's not exactly where I want it to connect. I can connect on the side. I can just make mirrored versions of this, or just have connections on both sides for good measure. I can do this. And put the other one over here. Like so. So you can connect up on either side. But then again, I want armor, so that needs to come out one, right? Because then hopefully what I'm going to do is I'm going to place some heavy armor blocks along the side here, tapering off going into the back. Yeah. Potentially even we can get a Gatling. Maybe a Gatling's too large. Maybe an autocannon. Ooh, an autocannon might be better for overall size. Yeah. 2 autocannons and maybe the Gat's too... Maybe the rail's too large. Because if I don't do the railgun, I could do an assault cannon, which is much smaller and much easier to fit on a little drone. Maybe that's the idea. Let's play around with that for a minute. You know, I'm just not liking this setup right here. It's not calling out to me. I think what I might do is try it again here. Let's try another one. But I want to base this one off maybe the medium cargo container. Because we do need storage. And I feel like these drones need to be a little bit bigger. I can make maybe like, there's the super micro railgun drones that I do know of that are like only like 2 blocks tall, 1 block wide, sort of tiny ass little things. But I feel like we need to make them a little bit more bulky. These are things that we want as our helpers in the battlefield rather than, you know, some disposable thing. Right? So I'm thinking we spread them out a little bit, we give them a bit of bulk, and we see what we can do with it. So if we do that, spread it out slightly, we could do like autocannon or they do have the Gatling turret Mark II. God, it's so big. God, it's so big. I don't know why these things are so large. I am tempted to just go with the autocannon. In that sense, it is so much smaller and so much easier to put on the side of a thing. Pair of autocannon, that looks amazing. From the front of this conveyor, we can go with a conveyor converter, which will give us all of the sides we need. See how there's got those on the sides, it's got those in the center. I think we just, doesn't really matter which orientation we do this in, because I think this is going to be assault turret, assault cannon. Yeah, or possibly I just tuck in the assault cannon like here, or maybe have a dual assault cannon, like one here sort of thing. Little dual assault cannon turret, ship, drone, death. I mean, that looks kind of scary. Yeah. I think we're going to go with this one. This guy, too small. Not what I want. We'll just get him ground down and get him out of the way. And back the tug out of the way. I think that looks amazing for potential firepower that this will be able to unleash against my foes. We can bring a heavy armor out to here and potentially do like we do with our turrets, where we can add in some ramping up like this, where we're bringing back the armor like so, and then right here we can give it a camera, namely the top-mounted one, which will tuck in right there. Okay. So the sleekness of this thing is going to be, this is going to come back to a nice full block, then come up to flat little slabs on the bottom, and the same thing is going to be on this side as well, slabs across the top. In the center here we'll have a little bit of blockiness to give a solid structure for the auto cannons to sit on. And a nice solid wall for defending the cargo container, which will contain all of my boom booms, which I do not want to go boom too early. Ooh, that's actually starting to look really like my turrets. Ooh, that's actually looking pretty cool. I'm liking how this is shaping up, actually. And we can do something like the corner block there, and then the inverted corner there to raise up to that. Yeah, that will look wonderful. Ah, we'll do some more armor shaping later. I think that's going to be good for the front of our drone. Dual assaults, dual autocannons. Now we can start thinking about how this thing's going to connect to the world, which will probably throw down another one of those conveyor converters, because that will allow us to say here we can start ramping it up to a full block. Alternatively, we can do it one further back than that. Let me just rotate that conveyor converter for a second and get the connector out again. And instead of putting the small inset connector like here, which I could, and I probably should, I would have to have that come up the block there to meet it, which I can do. I can shape that armor. I could theoretically have it be there. It doesn't really matter. Let's put it in like this. And then the bottom here, I'm going to have to do something with this armor to make it slope up a little bit better, but that's a problem for future me. Now, I can just think about mobility, where I want all of my thrusters. Because I do need to have reverse thrusters somewhere in this thing. It does need to be able to hold its distance from the enemy. And what is it? Small grid ions. What is their burning range, I wonder? I wish to do a small test here, so I am going to intentionally set up a few blocks to burn. Just the one? Two. Let's go for both my left and right, and we'll override them so that way I don't move. 2 blocks. I think we can do some internal thrusters. Go left and right, and turn down their override again. Yeah, I think we can totally do some internal thrusters there in the back. I think we have enough space. So we will need a battery of some kind. That needs to get slotted into here, and we actually probably have space for 2? Maybe? We have enough vertical, that's for sure. But right there would slot the battery in right in the middle of what this ship will be. But yeah, I think we can do battery, and then ions that have 2 blocks of gap. So I need to move those back by 1, which means I can just go like side ions here, like do, give it lots of thrust on the side, and then I can, in this little space inside here, come and go reverse thrusters down the center. We're going to want a big chonky old thruster out the back, which, do we do 1? Or we could just do 2. Why not? Big old chunky thruster. And then we've got enough space in between them that we should be able to go like 1, 2, 3 avert. 1, 2, 3. And then we've got a little bit of space in here for gyro. Now I'll put gyros closer to the center. Can't put them in there. They'll burn. Can't really put them there. I need that to be probably armor. I could put them along the bottom right here. Yes, this is a good spot. Gyro there, maybe. Alternatively, probably gyro deep in there. That's probably the safest spot for a gyro. This is probably going to be some form of armor shaping there. Probably going to change that armor up as well. However that meets and comes back. Same for this. And then we just need... Is a single gyro enough? We gotta go check it. Gotta get a seat on this thing. We gotta go fly it a little bit. So we'll just slap a seat on. Build it up, please. Thank you. Lots of front. Probably too much forward thrust. But we've got okay reverse thrust. Could use a little bit more. We can slap some to the outside probably. But at least that internal thrust is giving us bonus. But we should be able to hold. And we've got, I think, enough gyro. Might need one more. But I think that's working out pretty well. We could put another gyro in here into the thing. And then we just need AI. We come in here. We're going to need AI flight. Oh, we have to arrange this, don't we? Left and right and forward. That orientation. We're going to need an AI defensive, AI offensive, and AI basic task? Yeah, we're going to need an AI basic task, which doesn't need to be the various orientations. So that will be all where our AI is, right at the back of the thing. 2 gyros are AI. Oh yeah, lots of gyro authority on this thing. It should be fine. 2 batteries will give it tons of power. And now all we need to do is just shape it a bit. Those can get filled in. There isn't... Oh, is there any small grid blocks that have a pass-through? Like, on large grid, you can do passageways, right? And then you can put thrusters pointing into the passageways, and because the thrusters only actually damage a small portion in the center, you can use them to get additional structure in your thrusters. I actually have them in here. We go to my reverse thrusters, and we have passageways in here to give this area some structure. So it's not just a void. And the thruster still's fine. I don't think there is anything in small grid that does that. So, that's alright. We don't need to. This will be our little void in the center of the ship. Get rid of our little control seat. We don't need it for now. And we can just focus on armor shaping this thing up. Which we can run the solid armor blocks this way. And I mean, actually, theoretically, we could run another gun on this thing. We have those 2 from this cargo container, but we've got this port for the conveyor converter. I could theoretically pop this up and add another autocannon to the exterior to this, because this would be the side that's connected to the ship. So that side needs to be flat, needs to be nice and slim. But the other side sure doesn't. It can be all pokey. If it wants to. So I could, theoretically, if I filled this space in and went conveyor there, I could throw in another autocannon. So we would have trip autocannon. I could even move it forward to match the other two, but I actually like it back there better. Oh man, this thing's gonna have a lot of firepower. Can you imagine this thing coming at you with triple autocannons, dual assault guns, and it's just gonna sit at range and plug you with assault, and if you push it, you get lit up by triple autocannons. Oh, baby! And it's gonna be cheap because I'm not using any, like, I'm using a little bit of platinum, yes, for the rest of components for the ions, but I mean, not that much. It's not that bad. And I could just print these things. I could just have, like, several of them attached to the ship at once. This could be pretty damn good here. Alright, let's get this built up a bit more. And, we'll have to just go in and give this thing a little bit of a program. See if we can give it a little bit of test. Ooh, there is a munitions drone over there. No, we're not ready for that yet. We've got to get this thing armored up first. Which, just take me another minute here. Alright, well there is it all covered up with armor. Ooh. This thing looks pretty badass. I might try to sneak in some more reverse thrusters somewhere. Not 100% sure. And we just need to give it a little bit of a paint job now, don't we? I want these things to be a distraction. So they should be bright red. Yeah! Oh god, that clashes so much from my ship. No, okay. We gotta go with my traditional paint color. We got a white base. We're gonna give it black components, like black guns and such. And then we are gonna give it some blue highlights. Now I tried, when I was putting the armor on, not making it just one solid shape. I could, you know, make the armor end off at different levels and have different shapings to it. So hopefully that looks pretty good. But overall, I'm quite happy with this. No, I want to paint that. Got to take resources from it. And then blue. And we come in here and do some of these highlights. Like the tip. Just the tip. Oh, yes. And then maybe a nice bit. Oh, how do I do that on there? I did some on the trim. I did some on the side. I'll have to potentially. Oh, I get this center piece here. That looks good. Yeah, I could do it from there. Wait, does that side go farther? That side does go farther. I didn't do it evenly. I have a middle piece here. This side just goes down immediately. Yes, that's better. There we go. But overall, I'm liking it. Not sure how well it's going to perform in terms of its, like, power on the battlefield. But in terms of aesthetics and what it looks like and what I think it is, it certainly has won my heart over. I'm going to give it a bit more of the paint job and then give it all of its programming, which will let it know how we want it to fight. But I mean, we should just do that real quick here. Yeah, we should just do that real quick. It should be pretty simple to set this up. Control panel. We want AI defensive. We want subsystem weapons. We don't care. We care about everything. Now we'll go to default. We just want to target people with weapons. I think that's good to start. We want it to autopilot. And we're going to get it to... Oh, we're not doing a task. We'll have the task in there if we need it. But I think we just need the AI flight. The flight is knowing its speed limit and its altitude and such. And the offensive is the one where... Yeah, it's going to target the closest enemy. Targeting subsystem. That it's going to circle orbit. We're going to circle at... What is the range of these things? What is the range of an assault cannon? I do not know. Assault cannon's range is 1,400. We're going to range maybe at 1,000. And we'll pepper them with assault. And if they get close, we have the autocannons to defend us. I think that's probably the best, right? We're going to circle orbit at 1,000. Circle orbit. The grid will try to circle or orbit the enemy at a customizable distance. Stay at range. We'll try to keep the enemy between a customizable min-max distance. Or hit and run, where the grid will constantly make an attack run of the target, break off and retreat when it gets close. Or intercept will try to ram it. Obviously, that's for a missile. I think maybe stay at range. Minimal distance, where we want to start pushing away, is if they come to 800. And where we want to keep is where if they could get to 1,000. So we're always trying to make that 800 to 1,000 range. If they push us, we'll fire back at them with our autocannons, and normally we would just use our assault cannons to face at them. Yep. And to evade fire, the grid will move in random positions, well as in with min-max distance. Perfect. That's what we want. This is perfect. This is what we want. Weapons staying at range with our assault cannons, staying at a good distance away. If they push us, we have the autocannons to help defend as we retreat backwards. And the defensive is going to give them their full 800 meter range. I think this thing is ready to rock. I'll do a little bit of cleanup on this and make it all pretty. And I think in the next episode, we will deploy them against a target. Whatever that target might be, we will do a live fire exercise and then head on into battle with our little combat drones. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers. Hinge, left railgun, camera. Oh, they still need their cameras. Right, I'm not done building them. I should actually finish what the hell I'm doing first.